everyone. Welcome to our call today. I am here with Miss Zhay Smith. Hello, Zhay.
Hi.
I'm so excited to have you on today. So excited to introduce you to our community. But before we dive into some questions I have, I'd love for you to just introduce yourself, tell us a little bit more about who you are and what you do.
Okay, definitely. First of all, I'd like to say I'm so happy to be here. I'm like so stoked. And hi everyone. I'm Zhay Smith. I'm building a brand known as Zhay Style. So you'll find me like on Instagram, on across all social media as Zhay Style. And I've worked in the fashion industry. I'm a fashion stylist. Plus or times graphic designer, so brand styling, type of person. And I have like not only dipped my toe into surface pattern design with Bonnie, but I have like dived in. So hopefully we'll talk a little bit about that.
I think we all have the moment in time that we discovered surface pattern design. Can you tell me about that and also what you were doing before you found surface design?
Yeah, absolutely. So, like I said before, I've worked in the fashion industry. I have had a lot of different jobs. And most recently, I have been like a fashion and personal stylist. Fashion, I should say assistant. Okay, let me get that clear before everybody who's in the industry gets like super excited about that. And I've also been working as a freelance graphic designer since I can remember. Like, I have been friends with the computer since I was a teenager, so kind of like second nature for me. And I have been basically, this is going to be a surprise, I've been a caregiver for my husband, for my late husband. And I was basically freelancing during that time, that I was caregiving. So
I love how you were really intentional about doing something that built in freedom for your life and something that you could do while you were needed in this other role too. And then surface design seems like the perfect next step. Is that right?
Over the years, I came to New York to go to fashion school. So I went to Pratt Institute and other, I've been to other schools as well, NYU, a little FIT. And basically, I just, somewhere along the way, I got trained in design. And in that training, you basically switch from traditional means to the computer. And then once I got into the industry, everything is the computer. So I realized that I hadn't picked up a brush in a very long time and I missed it. And I used to draw all the time. I used to paint like portrait. I used to do like, I was a real legit artist, and before I came to study fashion. So when it hit me, that was just like, oh my gosh, I gotta find a way to get back to it.
You came into the immersion course with quite a lot of experience. You were already creating art. You were already kind of in a very similar, like parallel industry. So can you tell me a little bit about your experience coming in to the course? Of course, we have people come in who are brand new, don't really have an art practice, never worked in Adobe Illustrator. And then we have people like you who are coming in with quite a lot of experience.
Right.
Tell me about the experience you had from that perspective.
Well, I would like to share that, like, whether you are a beginner or an intermediate, which is where I consider myself, that course is still a game changer. As someone who's worked in the industry, it's a game changer because workflow is so important. Mastering the program, Adobe Illustrator, is like, it's such a staple for the industry, and not just my industry, like graphic design. I mean, anything that you want to do, basically, Adobe is going to be somewhere in there. So it is, it's a perfect tool to have in your arsenal. And as a creative, we're constantly learning. And even if it's, even learning other people's processes like yours, it helps you. Sometimes it just helps you to get out of your own head and learn little tricks and tips that other people have and kind of add it to what you do, or just discover things. And it was wonderful. Like, I was so happy that that I did it, because I did have a question. I was like, do I need this? Like, is this going to be redundant for me? It wasn't. It felt so good to actually be walked through step by step from top to bottom, like how to do everything, because I kind of learned everything kind of on my own too.
Yeah.
Even though I've gone to school, a lot of things aren't taught in the industry, and you kind of have to be scrappy and just learn wherever you can. So I was so happy to have it in one place. Yeah.
Okay, Zhay, I want to hear about the things that you've been able to accomplish since you've come out of the course. Can you tell us a little bit about your year?
Bonnie, okay. Who had it told me that learning to put my art into a tiny little square would change my life the way that it has? I don't mean to over exaggerate, but I wasn't even, I had the things that were in store for me. I had no idea. It wasn't even on my radar. I was planning that things probably wouldn't pick up until I got whatever that good was in my head, like good enough, whatever that is. And I'm thinking, okay, I have a 5-year plan, and then, I work back, and, I have 2 years and we'll be doing this and whatever. That was my thinking. Then you happened. I dived full tilt into your course. I was like, I'm getting everything out of this, and I'm going to do this thing, and I'm going to produce my first collection. I'm going to, I'm just going to not despise that it's a beginning. And you said something that really stuck with me in my head all the way through every module. It was more that you shared your little tree pattern. It was a very simple pattern. Yeah. And you talked about how like it got picked up and everything, and it was one of your beginner patterns. And, by this time, we have seen the full Bonnie, So when I saw that and you told me the story behind that, or told us the story behind that, I was like, okay, I'll give it a chance. I'll be gentle with myself. I will put myself out there, even if I think it looks, crappy or not perfect or whatever. And I did that, and I have been so blessed, because there's no other words to use. I've been so blessed, just taking that step for myself and not being so in my head or judgmental, because I got picked up. I like made this pattern right here. And this pattern is called Afro Flaunt, and I put my little heart into it. It has, like, for me as the artist, it has a lot of meaning. But what I didn't expect was that for it to resonate with other people the way that it did. A designer like picked this pattern, and they use it in their collection for Brooklyn Fashion Week last year in 2020, in the middle of a pandemic. Okay.
Love this print. What did you say it was called?
Afro Flaunt.
From this, at first glance, it looks like a floral. Like, it looks like a little, and then as you get pulled in, there's a whole story. And I think you can talk to this a little bit about what kind of an impact you can make with your artwork when there's a real purpose and a real why behind it. And I feel that with you, is that you have a bigger mission and a bigger why with your work, which is what I love.
When you in these patterns, in that little square, you can tell a story. It's almost like your current Flourish Challenge. It's February 2021 right now. And I believe the challenge is to share a memory, something that means something to you. You can do that with patterns. and people will feel it. It will resonate with them. They wear it on their bodies, like it's next to them, and they hold it close. And it's something that surprised me, because I was thinking it's just clothes, it's just a pattern. I put it on Spoonflower, and people are like, I love this. People have not only contacted the designer, but also contacted me and told me with tears how much this meant to them. Do I have it showing the right way? Yeah, this is a top side. Yeah, how much it meant to them and how they felt self-love and just acceptance and all the things about, you know, being beautiful and flaunting it. And I haven't had that type of connection. I've been an artist for ever since I was a child, I consider. And I haven't had such a real one-on-one connection with my audience the way that I have had since learning surface pattern design. And even my other things that have been picked up, there's other things that happened in 2020. I got picked up for a couple of patterns from minted.com. I'm sure some people are familiar with it, so yay.
You're right. I think it kind of takes us by surprise, because that's not really our mentality when we're learning. We're just learning how to try to create good work. And then this whole other thing happens when you see your work being woven into people's lives. And so the things that are most meaningful to me are when people have chosen one of my prints to make their like their first baby's clothing out of, or something. Or you know, I hear stories about people who've chosen my work because of the meaning behind it. So for instance, I did a collection called Her and History, which is like her and his story about grandparents. And a lot of people ended up making quilts for their grandparents to have in the hospital or something like that. And I'm just, the way that our work enters people's lives and really means something is this whole other part of it that is hard to be prepared for. It's really special.
It is. I'm getting chills that you're just talking about it. But it becomes so special to them. And it's something that you can't plan. It just happens. And it's all because you commit to creating something that you see in your mind. And you're like, I'm going to put this out. I'm going to put this on paper. I'm going to put this in fabric. I'm going to put this out there in the world. And then when it's received, and not only received, but loved or cherished, there's just nothing like it. There's nothing like it.
One thing that really stood out to me about you is that we do all these lives, right? I do all these live Q&As, and throughout the year too, because of the membership too. And, you know, before I knew who you were, I just saw your little name pop up on the lives. And I eventually, like when after doing so many, I start recognizing people, and I felt like you really showed up and you were really doing the work. And I noticed that. And of course, it's led you and I to having a great, you know, we'll get to that relationship. But tell me a little bit about what the community aspect has meant for you, because I feel like you're really in the community and you're connecting and you're, you know, there taking part.
Yeah, okay. So I wasn't even thinking about this until you just said it. But as far as the community goes, this place is special. Now, I know everybody says, oh, we have the best community. You know, everybody says that, but no, let me tell you, there is some, I'm looking for a word, sweet, special, giving, open. Like the people here are like super genuine. You know, for the most part, like it is such a wonderful atmosphere to connect, to learn. I have actually made a best friend here. Like this community it just keeps giving me gold. Like
I don't even know how it happened, but it happened. This community is such a treasure, and there is such a genuine Yeah, yes. So everyone is so genuine, but uplifting and encouraging, and it's just a real honor to be able to hear how it affects people's lives. Zhay, you've given me chills multiple times. Uh, well, let's just go ahead and tell everybody. We have a little Zhay, go ahead and tell everybody what you'll be doing this year.
Okay, you're gonna be seeing my face a little bit more, okay? I am on Bonnie's team.
Zhay's going to be coming on as part of our expert support team, and our resident fashion expert as well. And Zhay, I just can't tell you how excited I am to have you on the team.
Yeah, I'm excited to be here. It's going to be nice. I'm going to do my best to answer any questions that people have and just share, share my experience, because, truthfully, my experience in the fashion industry, a lot of people do hold things close to the chest, and it's very competitive, and people don't necessarily share, so that is not this environment, you know what I mean? like you can find out, as much as you are willing to absorb, this community is so giving, and people have so much experience. It's such a variety of people that make up this community, and everybody seems to have like a heart of gold. They just jump in, they help, they support, they guide, they want you to succeed,
Yeah.
And I'm so happy to be a part of that.
Is there anything else you want to share with us? Anything you're excited about on the horizon? Anything else? Parting words?
I just wanted to share, to people. I wanted them to know that kind of like how I fell into your lap, or how you fell into mine.
Yeah. And
if it's okay, I want to share that story. About how I first encountered you. So some people may not know that my late husband died from cancer, but he was so supportive, of me and my art. And he knew that it was a sacrifice for our family, and especially me, to be a caregiver. That became a full-time job, as things progressed, but he's still working. He worked all the way up to the end. He's just that strong. Yeah, you would have loved him if you met him. But in fact, everybody loved him. But I remember one day he gives me a call and he's like, Zhay, you got to jump on, you got to go watch this creative live, because he was always listening to something while he was designing. I mean, I can't do this. I can listen to podcasts, but he can watch I don't want to get him in trouble, but he's not going to get in trouble now, but he can watch full movies and design masterpieces. I need some level. My concentration is not quite like that. I can multitask, but that's amazing. Okay. But yeah, so anyway, he calls me and he's like, you have to go and check out this creative live. I hop in and there you were, teaching Illustrator and teaching it from the perspective of surface pattern designing. And I was like, what is this? Where have you been all my life? Because it was patterns and I needed to know that. I needed to learn it. I went to fashion school and we had textile design classes, but they did not teach us Illustrator. They taught us, it was very surface, for lack of a better word. It was it was very much learning the definitions of all the types of fabrics and all the types of finishes and all that stuff, that you need to know in order to understand what you're doing when you're designing and everything. But, and we got to draw things by hand, but I didn't learn how to actually, once I go into the industry, be able to hit the ground running. And when I saw that there was someone out there that actually taught that, I was blown away. I was like, wow, this is the best thing. And once he passed away, I was trying to figure out what am I going to do? Like, what am I going to do to, with my life, to help sustain my family? I've been doing this art thing, but how do I really make it, lucrative? And, how do I really give this a genuine go? And then I don't know what happened, but I kind of like saw some little ad or something of yours. It was like talking about the Surface Design Immersion Course. Yep. And I was like, I'm going to give this a shot. And I saw the price and I was like, whoo, at home heart. I was like, because for me, that was a push. But I tell you, Bonnie, hands down, best decision I ever made. Best decision I have made, in my career beyond coming to New York. Like, it has opened, when I tell you open doors that you may not expect. I'm not guaranteeing everybody who hops in this course is going to have the immediate successes that I have, because I didn't even know I was going to have them, but you set yourself up, and when you prepare for something, just things can just come to you. They can come into your life and you can jump on them. And this course gives you a foundation it's like a springboard. It's like a launching pad. You can go, and even if you decide, I don't want to have anything to do with fabric or patterns again, Illustrator is such a, it is like the gold standard, one of them, that you can pivot, you can pivot into doing things for interior design. I use it for graphic design. You can use it for your branding. I mean, it's a win. For me as an artist, it's been a win-win, because it's kind of like it accelerated what I was already doing. And that's what I want to share with people, is that I was in a place where I needed to start over. This course gave me a foundation and kind of helped me be able to channel my skills in that direction, because I had a lot of skills, but it helped me be able to channel my skills and work and be able to like just do things just like that. And it helped me start over. So I just want to let them know, if you've gone through hard things, and things aren't perfect, things haven't been perfect in 2020 for anybody. When you invest in yourself, good things can happen. And if you're willing to commit and put the time in, and if this is something, that's in your soul and your heart, like it was in mine, like, go for it. Just go for it. Just do it. Don't hesitate. Give yourself that time. Commit to yourself, commit to your dream, and good things will happen from it, So that's all I wanted to say.
Thank you for sharing your story, because I think, it is hard for me to hear, because I feel like I had a part in something that I didn't even know. And it's you are so special and so strong and so inspiring and so resilient, and what you've done is incredible. And
thank you.
No one would ever know about your story, and unless you share it, and so many people can relate, and they need to know that there is another side. They need to know that they can get through really hard things. Yes. And look at what you've accomplished and where you're at, and it's just a real honor to know you.
Thank you. The honor is mine. I'm saving us from crying right now, because I can
You've already made me cry several times.
I don't have any tissues. Like,
okay. All the love, Zhay. Now we have everyone crying. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing your story and being vulnerable, and your big heart and your expertise. I'm so thrilled to have you on the team sharing with the students of this year. And just thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you, Bonnie. I appreciate it. And I'm so happy to be on this journey, you know, with you and with the students coming in. I think this is going to be fun. I really do.
I'll see you in class.
See you in class, guys. Thank you, Bonnie.